What up, everybody? We're down to the final episode of Power Book 4, Force, and the title itself says a lot as it's titled The Beginning of the End. And the episode description reads, The mounting pressure for retaliation looms as disastrous moves and shocking secrets shake the streets. And the main part of this description I'm looking at is when it says, shocking secrets shake the streets, because it doesn't just say secrets shake the streets, but shocking secrets. So that's definitely something to keep an eye on, in addition to everything else that's going on as we reach this final episode of Power Book Force. And with the episode being titled The Beginning of the End, this could potentially be a clue that this episode won't be it for Tommy, but going into Power Legacy, it could potentially be the final chapter of Tommy's story. And with that said, this does look like it will be the episode when Tommy connects with Tariq to set the stage for Power Legacy, and that we're going to see the phone call from the credit scene of Power Book 2 as the end of the trailer shows Tommy at Miguel's spot saying that he's going to call in a favor. So Tommy's going to call up Tariq to be his secret weapon in the end game of this war. The trailer starts out with Jenard at a CBI meeting, or possibly even a meeting of the entire coalition, with Jenard telling them that they got to pick a side and pick it now. At this point, Jenard has plenty of ammunition to turn everybody against Tommy. The fact that Tommy is the one who ultimately killed Diamond, even though he was trying to shoot Jenard, and also that Marshall is dead, and he can pin that on either D-Mac or Tommy as well. And there's also now nobody alive who knows that Jenard sent Marshall to kill D-Mac. So he should be able to rally the troops even more against Tommy for those reasons. But the question is, are they really going to want to follow a junkie and his reckless decisions? As the next clip shows Jenard waiting outside of JP's funeral and ready to shoot it up. I made a video last week called The Red Funeral. Make sure to go on my page and check out that video if you haven't yet. But in that video, I talked about all the people at this funeral who could potentially get taken out when Jenard shoots it up. As in the trailer, we can see Kate walking out with D-Mac and Genesis comforting her as she's crying, making a scene, doing exactly what Tommy knew she would do, and that's why he didn't want to call her in the first place, saying she would try to make it all about herself. Keeping in mind, it also looks like Kate is going to give a speech at the funeral as well. But as Kate, Genesis, and D-Mac are walking out, we can also see Tommy, Mireya, and Miguel behind them, as well as Cruz and another IP soldier guarded the door. But also keep in mind, one of the Season 3 trailers also shows Bones and Smurf are also waiting outside of the church with Jenard as well. As the trailer shows everybody walking out of JP's funeral, it also shows a clip of Tommy talking to Mireya and telling her that Jenard's not going to stop until he takes everything from him. And with that said, also keep in mind how Mireya and Kate's storyline ended in a cliffhanger at the end of episode 9, as Kate caught Mireya on the phone trying to get a one-way plane ticket to Mexico for the next day, trying to potentially run away to Mexico with Tommy's child without even telling him. But after it shows Tommy telling Mireya that Jenard's not going to stop until he takes everything from him, it then shows Mireya telling Tommy that she believes that he could win this war. Then we get to the Bill saying Bobby DeFranco storyline that's been building up now. And after catching Sang meeting up with Taichin Chan in episode 9 and getting pictures of him on his phone, DeFranco is going to confront Sang and let him know that he wants justice for his wife. And I don't think that DeFranco really cares that Singh is dirty at this point, but is going to try to use the information that he has as leverage to try to force Singh to go after Tommy Egan or do whatever else DeFranco wants him to do. Next, after boarding a plane to leave Chicago with Ray and start a new life in episode 9, Vic Flynn's going to return back to Chicago, if he even left, to finish his business with Tommy. As the trailer shows Vic meeting up with Jenard and telling him, let's take out Tommy Egan. And we can tell from the brick wall behind him that he's in the basement of Diamond's barbershop talking to Jenard. Then it shows Shanti saying, all right, let's go. But it doesn't show too much more details other than that from this scene. As the next scene shows Tommy, D-Mac, Miguel, Cruz, and another guy walking outside, and Miguel is laughing. Then we get to the big shootout at the warehouse, and this is most likely when Tariq shows up with that favor that Tommy says he's going to call in. The characters that I can confirm that are at the shootout at this warehouse from the trailer is Tommy, Bones, and Jenard. But this could potentially be where Tommy was also going with Miguel, D-Mac, and Cruz as well. Either though, if we learned anything from the shootout at the church when Diamond died, it's that D-Mac isn't any kind of help for Tommy in these kind of situations. Matter of fact, he's a liability, at least right now while he's so emotional over JP's death, because D-Mac going into the church like he did left Tommy distracted and could have got him clipped alongside Jenard. If Diamond didn't step in, they potentially would have shot each other. Then it shows Tommy what I think is the same shootout. If not, it might be a setup with Tommy hiding behind a truck, potentially shot. If he's not shot, it looks like his gun either jammed or he's out of bullets, with multiple guys coming for him. The guy who's climbing on the roof of the truck coming for Tommy looks like it could even be that kid, Smiley, who did the robbery with D-Mac earlier in the season. Keeping in mind that he was also a part of CBI and wasn't happy about his friend, Nutty Boy, getting killed. So Jenard could gas him up to go against Tommy, even D-Mac with Marshall being dead now. But as there's at least 3 guys coming for Tommy, and he's hiding behind that truck, a mystery shooter takes out all 3 of these guys. So this is most likely Tariq showing up on force. But there's also a small possibility that it could be Ghost returning to save Tommy instead of Tariq. Kate could potentially end up calling Ghost to help Tommy if she knows that he's alive. Because by the way how Tommy was looking like he was in trouble when they were closing in on him, it doesn't look like he was expecting someone to show up and help him. And also, I know one of the guys from the trailer who was closing in on Tommy that gets taken out looks like it was Jenard. But when we slow it down, we see that it's not Jenard. And Jenard was also dressed in a t-shirt, not the jacket that this guy was wearing during the shootout at the warehouse. And there you have it. We have a week break before the series finale airs, as episode 10 isn't scheduled to air until January 16. So there'll be no new episode next week. Leave your thoughts, theories, and predictions for the final episode of Power Book Force in the comments.